Today, we're going to be talking about, is the EIDL money running out? We're going to talk about that and how to deal with the fact that there's only 10 days and 2 months left in 2021 until the program is shut down. We're also going to be talking about an interesting post about contacting the SBA and what that means. And so hope you'll hang out with us. We're going to have some fun. Because as usual, for our own sanity and entertainment, we have some new props this week. So we're going to introduce those and why they are fun for us. So hopefully they'll be fun for you too. So let's take it away. I've got a little icebreaker because guess what's coming up, everyone? Halloween. Are you into Halloween or not into Halloween? Let us know if you have some Halloween ideas of costumes and if that's a thing for you. All right. So, Trevor, do you want to start with what exactly, since we have a script, talking about?
The problem with starting the show right now, is that remember how massively angry I was at the SBA just 30 minutes ago?
Yeah.
I've definitely cooled down, but it has been the SBA day from hell.
Yeah.
Here at Aurora Consulting.
Hey, Mickey.
The most recent debacle of dysfunction at the SBA is just unfolded in the last 60 minutes. A client gets an email and says, you're declined because your economic injury is unsubstantiated. We already gave you more money than you're entitled to receive.
Okay.
So I jump into his tax return. They gave him $150,000 last year. I jump into his tax return, which is a 1040 with a Schedule C, and I look on the Schedule C, and I do the math, and he's eligible for $455,300. But some knucklehead at the SBA clearly read his transcript incorrectly. If you've ever looked at an IRS transcript, it's actually quite difficult to read because it's just a like a printout of line 12 and a number. And if you are rushed, incompetent, poorly trained, not familiar with that type of business document, you may not know how to understand it. And so I think what happened there was on page 1 of this client's 1040, it says $44,000. Well, of course, because he had gross profit of $267,000 on Schedule C. And then once his expenses deduct out, he had about $44,000. So I am betting dollars to donuts that the idiot at the SBA who read the transcript and sent this stupid email.
Yeah. But it wasn't a declination.
Looked at it was a declination.
Oh, it was?
It was a declination. It didn't have a declination letter, but it said, we cannot give you the loan because the SBA only gives loans for 24 months of working capital.
Right.
And we've already given that to you. And I know what they did. They saw the $44,000 on the IRS transcript. As I said, difficult to read. And they went 44 times 2 is 88. Oh, we gave him $150,000, Boom, that one's off my desk. Next. Okay, as if that's not dysfunctional debacle enough. 8 minutes ago, before showtime, the client gets another email from the SBA saying, hey, man, we're working on your file. Send us a tax return. Send us a 2202. Send us a 45060 and a voided check.
Within an hour, same client.
Less than an hour.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, all those documents outlined, I've already submitted those. I submitted those on September 11th when we filed the client's reconsideration. Because that's how I roll.
All right. So that was just real time.
That's just the most recent one.
Yes.
Then there's the client who is he was client number 2 last year. He's a restaurant owner. We recently got him $500,000 for the restaurant. His revenue says he's eligible for $1.763 million. Get an email to log into the SBA portal this afternoon. It says $85,000. I'm like, that's not right. He gets a phone call from a woman at SBA, leaves a voicemail. He sends the voicemail to me. I call her back. The voicemail name doesn't match the name that she left. I just, more SBA confusion. And so I left a message. She hasn't called me back yet. But just 40 minutes ago, he got an approval on the wrong amount, the $685,000.
Do you think
those are the two most recent ones? And it's been that way since 8 o'clock this morning. It has been the SBA day from hell. On the other hand,
who follows Mercury in retrograde?
Okay, we're not going astrological. I'm not giving the SBA any way out of this at all.
It's like
I'm not going to let the SBA blame this on astrology.
Some reason.
In other news, one of our clients was approved last night for $267,000. He's a limousine driver out in LA. We got him approved for $267,000. The fastest reconsideration we've ever done, 10 days. Mama, 10 days. And this morning we had a $500,000 approval on a client who was declined in the summer of 2020 for credit. And we submitted a reconsideration on April 28th. And we've been dealing with this April 28th through today. Finally approved $500,000. That business is eligible for more than $500,000. So I'm going to look at his credit score tomorrow and see if we can request the additional money. So there are moments of goodness, but there's just, and the thing that Mike's brain was exploding about half hour before showtime was SBA. I mean, I've said this a zillion times. Enough is enough.
Like it's really, it's almost unbelievable.
Hey, how about SBA? How about you just give your SBA loan reps our videos? We will teach your SBA representatives how to read a transcript and how to fill out a 4506T. 15 minutes. Yeah. What are our videos? Like 7 minutes long.
Wait, not these, not the lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop ranting and you want me to go into the logic, or you want to jump into something else?
No, I wanted Justin, Michael. Yes, I know it could be taken wrong, but Justin's here and we have to share this. So anyone who's watching this on the replay, by the way, thank you for joining us on the
Justin
replay.
Tatum is here.
This is going to be a tiny little reprieve because this
calls for props because Justin Tatum's here.
We got this gift. See this? Highland Titles. We own property in Scotland now, and that's why we have certificates, because we are the Lady Linda Ray and Lord Trevor Curran. Cheers.
I'll be talking my Scottish accent for the rest of the bloody show because I'm actually Scottish, which is why Justin got us a wee piece of Scotland and sent it to us.
It's so cool.
All right. Cheers.
So we have a title, Highland title. There we go. That's a sticker.
As my Scottish dad used to say, here's looking up your assets and liabilities.
And we got like a legit certificate, right?
Are you stepping all over my bloody toast here, lassie?
I am. I totally am. But it's cool. You go online and you register your plot, and it's a preserve. So we're also contributing to the vast beauty of Scotland, and we can go there and we have a title. We have cards. They give you cards so that when you travel there, you have Lady Linda Ray. Like, how cool is that? Thank you, Justin.
Although there are certain parts of Scotland where if they find out where my family come from, they may want to take a sword.
So should I wear this all night? Because I kind of like it.
Girlfriend, do whatever you like.
Okay.
You do you. Okay. Let's jump back in talking about logic.
Yeah. So Addison Street Spa knows it's real. This was a brutal cycle. Just saying. Okay. So now let's get to our agenda, because we do have an agenda.
Is the EIDL program going to run out of money? This video tonight was inspired by people freaking out that the SBA is going to run out of COVID-19 money and they haven't been approved yet. Okay. So we're going to share with you what our opinion is on this. And before we do share with you my opinion and my prediction, Linda Ray, tell them about all my other previous predictions, all of them.
They all, but see, there's so many and I can't remember all of them. They all came true.
Every one of them came true.
Everyone came true.
Like 4506T? That went away, right?
Not going away.
Who said it wasn't going away?
You did.
All right. Who said it wasn't going away? Who said it was going to go away?
Everybody else.
Everybody else. Who said it wasn't going away? I did. Also,
when the whole thing fell out where they did say EIDL ran out of money last year, you were like, it's bullshit. They don't worry about it.
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Because they had reopened it. Remember when,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Back then, all our clients were freaking out. They're like, they ran out of money. I said, it's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. So you said it's going to come back on. You said they're going to increase it beyond the 150. They did. You said it'll increase it beyond the 500, and they did. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I predicted that, too, that it was going to go to 2 million. I did. I predicted all of that.
So,
and I predicted, by the way, that it would go to 500 and 200. Well, I predicted it would go to 2 million.
So let's just.
I never saw the 500,000 coming, but I did predict it was going to go to 2 million. After Isabel Guzman came in.
Well, yeah, you knew she was going to take it up beyond 150.
Correct.
Maybe you didn't know it was 500, but you knew 150 was not going to be. That's not what wasn't going to last forever. You knew that.
Right.
All right. So let's just talk.
So all my predictions were right. We're setting it up for the rest of the show. Okay.
Let's validate Trevor's show. Okay. So let's just get to the nuts and bolts.
Today's show is about taking logic and using logic to eradicate your negative emotional reactions to your horrible experiences with the SBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with the post that one of our clients emailed to us yesterday that was on Reddit.
Oh, wait, you're not going to tell them? You're not going to, you're going to keep them waiting?
Oh, yeah. I wrote a whole script here.
Yeah.
And the predictions all the way at the very end.
Okay.
So let's start. We're going to lay out our logic argument.
Jenny comes.
Got approved.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jenny comes.
All right. We knew it would happen for you. We knew it would happen.
Okay.
So,
Reddit post.
Oh, yeah, the Reddit post.
You're going to post this up. Put this up on the screen.
Okay. So I've got an overlay. So we will disappear and we're going to do the anatomy of an SBA email response. Let's
just put it up.
Put it up. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're going to put it up. Oh, let me take down the other.
By the way, we had someone else who commented on one of our other videos today that tell your husband to shut up.
Oh, yeah.
He talks too much. Get to the point.
Oh, yeah. It's entirely too long of a video. It was a live show. It was Q&A. Then go away. And they were blocked too. So.
Okay.
All right.
We put where'd it go?
It went because we were talking.
We can talk over it.
I know. Okay. I don't like talking when there's an overlay. Okay.
Things you learn. Okay.
This was on Reddit.
So this was on Reddit. Where'd it go?
No,
I'm looking at the TV.
Yeah, don't look at the TV.
Well, I read it easier on the TV because the TV is ginormous. All right. Email this person. We don't know who this person is. She received this after being told that she could call anytime for questions or status updates. This is very important. Call anytime for questions or status updates. Linda, what advice have I been giving people since January?
Don't call.
Don't call.
Stop calling.
Okay. Here's the SBA service. Well, I want to start at the bottom of the post because I want to go bottom to the top. Can we go to the bottom?
The bottom. Yes, we can. The bottom, this bottom.
Okay. So the bottom of the post, waiting for it to come up on my screen over here.
Well, it's right in front of you.
I can't really see it there. Okay, here we go. So the bottom of the post, this person says.
So this is the rep. By the way, this is the response that the rep is sending. Let me just make sure
Oh, it's actually further up. I thought it was at the bottom. The word millions.
Millions? Oh, yeah. So then we go back up here. Here. It's right there. It's the second paragraph.
Okay. So it's actually the top, not the bottom. Okay. I screwed up. It's been a long, crazy day. This SBA rep says, I will stop responding if you are unable to stop contact. I know we are not moving quickly enough for millions of people. This is a rep at the SBA admitting that the SBA is not moving quickly enough for millions of people. This is the key number. Millions. That's right. There are millions of you applying for the EIDL program. But so many of you out there behave as if you're the only person who has applied.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Listen, you know what? We talk to people every single day and email, and I can't imagine you guys, it's rightfully so, because the SBA has sucked, but we have to kind of, at some point, we need to realize that there's nothing we can do. Like Luis Moncayo is here, and he said,
"Hey, Luis."
He said somebody sucks at math, because he got a loan for an offer.
Fly here.
3,000. Another fly. This is not a prop.
It's my fly swatter.
But this is the thing. Like, I don't understand. This is a perfect example of someone calling in and a rep telling the person calling in what's going on. So then why isn't the SBA fixing it faster? Like, why not? Why?
I have said from time and time again, I said the folks on the front line at the SBA are awesome. And pretty much every interaction, Makufash, do not send an email. We're going to get to that. Do not.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what you have to do, Makufash? You have to wait. But let's go back to our logic.
Oh, no,
chain
so
here.
Mickey, this is why we gotta. He's already thinking.
Mickey, it's not going to run out.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go back. Stop calling the SBA. Stop sending emails. Stop sending emails that have giant novel-length stories in them. If you must send in a document, the email goes like this. Good afternoon. Attached, please find the following documents. IRS Form 4506T, SBA Form 2202. Very truly yours and your name. That's it. That's what your email should look like. And the subject line should have your EIDL number. That's it. Not, hey, I'm sending you this for the 5th time. Can somebody please look at my file? Because, I had to lay off 2 people because no. And send it in once. If they request it again, then you send it again. And don't send extra documents.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the Reddit post. And let's go down to the bottom of the post.
Okay.
Okay. This is very important right here. The notes on your file. Okay. So every time you contact the SBA, they have to put a note in your file. They're required to do that. I know you all don't think they do, but they literally are making a note on your file. Here's what the SBA representative says. The notes in your file where loan officers must read through to understand what is going on is dozens of pages long of just your calls.
And she underlined it. And she underlined
who made that prediction also about dozens of pages?
You did. We both.
I said dozens. I said hundreds.
Well, we've been saying about how we have a CRM. So with our CRM, everything is logged. So when we want to look at a status, we got to scroll through all different types of activity too.
And we're much more efficient.
Calls, notes.
And we've trained our clients not to call us every day, and not to send emails every week, so that it lowers the volume of notes in their file. But still, for us who are paid advocates for our clients, to go through our clients' notes in our internal files can take more than a few minutes. Okay, and we're not rushed when we're overworked, but we're not rushed on the files. The SBA representatives, there's a clock running every time they work on a file. They've got a supervisor breathing down.
I want to go back to M's comment. I don't know if you're still here, M. But we have a couple of clients too that are compelled to contact us out of sheer, and they say, listen, I'm desperate. I'm stressed and desperate, and I need this money. The problem is there is literally nothing you can do.
Nothing.
If you've been calling,
it does not have an effect.
It doesn't, none. Because
Zero.
you wouldn't be asking this question here with us live, depending on how long your file, if your file's been in since August or April, or pick a
Jenny
month.
Combs just posted 6 months she was in reconsideration. Yeah. So Jenny did the thing that we tell everybody to do. She fixed her 4506T. See, that's what you folks need to be doing.
Yeah.
You need to put your own house in order. Stop calling the SBA. Stop emailing them asking what they're doing. You have no control of that. You know what you have control over? You have control over your ability to be patient. Yeah. And you have your control over your ability to have your documents 110 gazillion million percent perfect.
And that's what Jenny Combs did. Instead of saying, and she
got approved because she took our advice to fix her 4506T.
Because guess what? If Jenny, as an example, did not go to what she could control and look at her paperwork, it would still be languishing there in a vast void of nothingness because it was wrong. So Jenny, congratulations to you.
And you're welcome.
Okay. So,
all right.
Moving on.
Next.
Let's do we want to
let's go back to the post and go in there where it's clear that the SBA rep has given this person their direct line.
Okay. That's not this one. That's this one.
I will stop responding.
Yes.
Okay. It says, I will stop responding if you are unable to stop contacting. So that means, look what happened here. It is very obvious that the SBA representative has given this person his or her direct extension because they felt bad. Whatever the sob story that this person fell for, and everyone has one because everybody's desperate. This SBA rep gave direct line. It was a kindness that was extended to this EIDL applicant. And look what has happened. This EIDL applicant has abused that kindness. And now the representative is kind of bitch slapping this person into the next century. I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah.
Saying, you stop. I'm not going to respond to you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Brandon Bishop. Nice to see you.
Okay. SBA's poor systems, their terrible inconsistencies, their lack of fundamental processing standards, combined with the worst communications process of any agency I have seen in 30 plus years in federal government financing. SBA, all of that together is creating more problems than are necessary. But you folks, you're a big part of the problem too. And not enough of you are owning that. So let's go back to our logic chain. Stop calling the SBA. Stop submitting unnecessary documents. Stop sending long-winded storytelling emails. Start analyzing your own documents like Jenny Combs, who got approved by analyzing her document. Start finding more patience with the process instead of of writing an email. Start being more organized and logical, and start being less emotional.
Yeah, I would like to hear from you guys, because this is when, if someone's listening to this on the replay and they don't like what we have to say.
Well, yeah, we're going to bounce it over to you in just a moment.
Yeah,
my last point here on this aspect on this Reddit post is we have these insights that we were able to share with you on our shows and our other YouTube videos, and that help people like Jenny to be successful with her loan approval, because we have worked on and are working on hundreds of files. And by the way, when I say we, I mean me, because Linda helps on a certain aspect of what we do. We have a processing team that does document control, but essentially I am the face.
He does everything.
I do everything. Yeah. And we have over 350 clients, and I do this 7 days a week. I woke up in the middle of the night last night drafting an email arguing about the use of an E2 visa for a non-citizen. I came up with the kind of argument you come up with when you're advocating for your client. So I live and breathe this. And that's why we share these insights with you, because you see maybe one file, or maybe if you have one or two or three companies, maybe two or three, but I see literally hundreds. And what I do is I detect patterns of how I can tell at any given time. Like, I don't know what was going on in SBA today, but something very bad was going on at the SBA today. Their technology, there was a massive fail. Something happened today. In fact, this morning on the $500,000 approval this morning, I had spoken to the SBA loan officer last week, and we got the approval. We logged into the portal to sign the closing documents, and it was asking for forms. So I wrote her back, and she said, no, don't worry about that. The system does that. Ignore it. Just accept the eligible amount and submit for processing. So
yeah,
that's where our feedback comes. All right, so let's turn it over to you.
All right.
And then we're going to talk about continuing our logic that we understand and give you our prediction.
All right, so
on what's going to happen with the EIDL program at the end of the year.
All right, so it's a little bit of a quiet night, and we don't have too many questions. But if you have questions or you're just joining us, this would be the time you want to put them in the chat. I do see one that I have to scroll up to get. May I ask a specific question on EIDL app? If an individual is filing the app for real estate, Schedule E.
I have the answer to this.
Okay. Drum roll.
So first of all, New York 1559, thanks for joining our show. And before I answer your question, we do ask payment on our show tonight.
What?
For the free advice we're going to give you.
Will you stop? Oh, the Google review. Yes.
That's all we ask you to do, New York 1559. We ask you, Linda's going to put up the link. If you find our help, our advice useful, helpful in any way, or positive in any way, please write a Google review. That's how paying customers find us, and we have paying customers. We can do these free advice shows. All right, so can we put the question back up, please?
Yeah.
I haven't answered it yet. She's a Leo. So everything's fast.
Yes. All right. Check. So Schedule E.
May I ask specific question? Yes. So Schedule E. I don't really know what you mean when you say, but for one property, and then parentheses has many listed. Is it one property or is it many? But either way, the answer to your EIDL application, New York 1559, is this. You can only receive from the EIDL program the amount of monies lost due to the COVID-19 pandemic from lost rental income. And to get that money, you must do 2 spreadsheets. Your first spreadsheet will show all of your rentals that you received pre-disaster, and I know it's on your tax return, but they're going to ask you for a spreadsheet, so you might as well do it tonight. Spreadsheet, it should have the name of the tenant, the property address, the lease term, the date that it started, the date that it ends, the monthly rent that's supposed to be part of the lease, and then the total rents received in 2019. And then post-disaster, which is February 1st, 2020. Now, we don't know when this is supposed to end, so I always tell people do it up until the most recent month. So what you'll do is February 1st, 2020 through September 30th of 2021, all of the rents collected for those same units. And then if you have a net loss, that's the amount of money the SBA will reimburse you with. They'll compensate you with. That's it. That's all you're going to get. You will not get additional EIDL monies for property management, for anything else. It's not the same as an EIDL loan for, let's say, a dry cleaners or a manufacturing company that's lost revenue due to COVID. You can only get lost rentals. I hope that you found that helpful. Please write a Google review. Okay.
Okay.
Next question or comment or criticism.
Well, I do want to answer M. I could put a link in the chat, but there's a web page for you to look at and review our services to see if it's a fit for you. I will put that in the chat versus explaining all of that. Okay. From city to suburb, should I request current Form 2202 prior to completing a cash flow analysis?
I don't even know why you're asking that question.
I'm thinking you're trying to prepare because maybe they haven't asked for either. You can chat.
Well, why are you doing a cash flow analysis?
Did they ask for that for 1368 or? Yeah.
First of all, your 2202 should be as current as possible because it's about current debts, current liabilities in the name of the business entity. So if the last time you submitted a 2202 was 6 months ago, you should be prepared with an updated one. We update them all the time with our clients. So you should certainly have one. I mean, in other words, if I get an email from SBA today asking for a 2202 on a client that I know I submitted one 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, I'm going to reach out to the client. We have a template email I send to the client asking for current status on debts. And then once I get that back, I then prepare an updated 2202 as of today, get it DocuSigned by the client, then I send that into the SBA. So your 2202 should be as current as possible, preferably at the moment of contact from the SBA.
Right.
When they send you an email saying, please submit a 2202, don't send one that's 30, 40, 60, 70, 90 days old. Send one that is current for today. As for cash flow analysis, if you could come up with a follow-up question for that city suburbs, because I don't really understand what that has to do with the 22.
Well, yeah. So if you want to put in the chat, or if they're asking for this, or have you just seen
give
this
us a little
somewhere?
more detail on that.
Okay,
folks.
next.
Just when you're asking those questions, we ask you to be very specific, because the more specific you are, the better advice we can give you. And also, please do not ask us about the targeted advance.
Oh.
It's not going to happen. And by the way, if you're all still waiting for the target advance, cut it out. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get the money. There's no more free money. The EIDL is a loan program. That's what we're here to talk about. Businesses that want to borrow money from the federal government at a very low interest rate to make up for the lost revenue that they lost due to the COVID pandemic. That's what we're here to talk about. We're not talking about free money tonight or ever.
Well, yeah, we don't usually, but so here is a question, and I put in the chat for we Mokum. I did put in the chat a link to a video about the process and how the SBA does not have, they just recently, right, in like the last 6 weeks, have an email that says that something's going to take this long.
No, as usual with SBA, we got all happy about back in September when all of a sudden these new messaging emails showed up. But as always with SBA, there's no consistent standards that anything the SBA does.
But so just as a general to ease your mind, and even though I've said I'm never answering this question again, I will just say that once you sign your closing documents, it's supposed to take 3 to 15 days.
It's not supposed to. There's no supposed to anything with the SBA.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
In our experience,
yes,
3 to 15.
Well, I mean, it's you would think it would happen pretty quickly, but this is, I will tell you, the only time it goes wrong that someone isn't getting funded within a week, just as a basic rounded.
Well, let's not go squirrel. No, let's not go there.
But no, about changing the bank account.
No.
That's what happens. That's the only time it's gone wrong, is when someone changes their bank account.
We're not going to go into bank accounts. Let's answer the question.
There's no standard.
How long? There's no standard, and there's no average. What we have seen for our clients is anywhere from 3 days to 15 days. Calendar.
Yeah. What? There was an email that said it would be.
Well, So you sounds like you were requested an appeal. And so with this as part of the new messaging that came out about 6 weeks ago, around the beginning of September, SBA started sending a new email out saying that reconsiderations take 30 days, can take up to 30 days, and appeals can take up to 4 months, and uploading documents can take up to 2 weeks.
Now, I'm going to jump in here, and do not interrupt me, because I want to share as the layperson with a regular business crown on.
You mean a layperson, a queen person.
A queen person. There's language that is standard, which is the only thing that's standard with the SBA. And that is, if you're eligible, it doesn't mean you're approved. Yeah. And someone had said, okay. So somebody's computer shut off. I thought it was our computer. Somebody got a verbal request. I don't know if you're still here. Verbal approval. I don't know who that was. It doesn't count. What they may have said that most applicants don't hear when they're on the phone is, I'm recommending that this will be approved, but then they have to.
What's that word again?
Recommending. I'm recommending that it'll be approved, and then they have to pass it off to another team. So I
actually have one of those emails that I received today for one of our clients. Yes. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see a question. Okay. Can a business create in 2019 but start filing taxes? If the entity was created in 2019, then you are eligible. It's a matter of the SBA doing proper math.
Yeah. So, and you'll have to document, Linda Bijot, that you started the business. You're going to need to put together proof that your business. So if it's an entity like an LLC or corporation, that's easy to do. Get the EIN filing, get the LLC filing with your regular state authority. And then you'll need to fill out an SBA form 1368 and also submit your 2020 tax return. I'm looking for the email.
Well, I'm looking for the city to suburbs. I don't know, something must have happened because she's commenting on a different video and not this video that's live. So I'm not sure where they are. Yeah. So Lendo, I don't know where you were because I definitely went squirrel on that, but oh, forget about the grant. Forget about the grant. I honestly.
Somebody's asking about the grant, even though I just said don't ask us about the grant.
Yeah, but yeah, you're if you started your business in 2019, you are eligible. It's a matter of the documentation. That's the other thing. I feel like sometimes we're a broken record. I know if you've never been here with us before, you probably may think we're annoying. I mean, we don't care that you think we're annoying because, but people they're not organized.
Okay, I found the email.
The documentation
Here's an email
is the key.
From an SBA loan specialist this morning.
Antoine.
We did a whole bunch of, hey, Antoine, we had a whole bunch of document back and forth. This is a client that hired us last year. He has 2 businesses. We got him approved for one of them. We put in a reconsideration 6, 7, 8 months ago for the second business, which is actually a not-for-profit. And we got action on the file today from the loan specialist, and back and forth submitting documents, accepting an eligible loan amount, etc. And this is exactly verbatim what Linda was talking about with the word recommend. The loan specialist writes, I have recommended your application for approval. It will go to higher management to review my recommendation.
Yeah.
You will be notified if there are any changes to that recommendation. There is no time frame for them to process. It could take several weeks, or it could be a quick turnaround. Continue to watch your email for any updates. Good luck in all your endeavors. That's a great loan specialist. That's why we always say the folks that we encounter on the front lines are more often than not, like 99% of the time, are fantastic.
I like that. I'm glad you read that. I'm making that a note for the approval, and that's why Big O
recommended for the approval.
That's why
Big O, the loan officer said you were approved. That's not the loan officer. So not all the loan officers are as clear spoken as this email I just read to you. Oh, yeah. The loan officer doesn't approve the loan. They recommend it for approval. This process has been in place for about somewhere between 4 and 5 months, where all of a sudden there was this layering of approvals. It used to be the loan officer. I dealt with loans back in December and January and February. When I spoke to the loan officer, she said, it's approved. Go into the portal, sign the closing documents. And that was it. It was in the hands of a loan officer. It's not like that. It hasn't been like that for months. Your loan officer finishes the final analysis of the file and then recommends it for approval. And there are upper levels of management that have to sign off on that. And we have seen all kinds of scenarios, some that happened in minutes, some that have been waiting 2 months. So manage your expectations accordingly. Okay, what else we got?
My new favorite quote is from Downton Abbey.
Linda's been binge watching Downton Abbey.
Yeah, because I'm not an early adopter with these shows, and so until it's on like Netflix or Hulu or something, I'll maybe watch it. But I think it's just so apt for this entire COVID experience and for our videos and for our style of delivering information, so that you're clear on your mission is to be organized and to know where things are that you need to be responsible for with your financials. There's too often I hear people like, well, I don't know what that means. It's like, well, then you better keep doing research about it, because you're going to flatten the learning curve. You need to flatten the learning curve with this. If you need this money, there's a certain level of helplessness that cannot be an excuse for just complaining and all, and so on and so forth.
I don't know if you're a business owner, how you could possibly ever behave helpless.
Yeah, I mean, I see some of the comments and how they are just like, I don't know what that means. You know, how when they talk to me, they're like not even reading the description of the video to see the answer in the video. They're not reading the pinned comment.
Well, you know, it's the
answer.
Swipe left, swipe right, you know,
so
mindset.
Then I have no patience.
That's why, Big O, when you said, you know, the loan officer said you were approved, that's why we wanted to read you the email. You know, when I get emails from SBA representatives, I read the entire email. Even those templates that you guys get, you know the templates you get, Louis Moncayo, you know, Mikia, you know, Kobina, you've seen them. You get those templates. It says, you know, we've reviewed your file with 4506, 2202. I don't know if you were all aware of this. I read every one of those emails, every line, even though I've seen those templates hundreds of times.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. To me, I treat each one like it's a new one, because what I have seen is in those list of documents, an SBA rep will slide something in there, and I want to make sure I don't miss it and that we get it for your protection. So what we find, as with many folks like Big O who say the loan officer said I was approved, you're not reading the email that says I'm recommending you. And I'm not blaming you all the time, because many SBA representatives are not as coherent as this awesome person I spoke to today.
All right. So
hello, Julius.
Back to Q&A.
Thanks, Justin.
I know. It's so, Justin, you're so crazy. You're so crazy. Thank you so much.
This is a Justin Tatum Scottish present for us.
Yes.
Here. His lordship and her ladyship there.
Yeah, my ladyship. Yes.
Nobody's commented on my Scottish accent so far tonight.
That's okay. All right. So do you want to,
what's MC's question?
MC. Okay. If you ask a question and I miss it, pop it back in the chat so we can,
yeah, I'm not paying as much attention tonight to the questions. So, okay. So if an LLC wants to refinance high interest mortgage debt related property, no.
Okay. That was easy.
Sorry.
All right. I am under reconsideration. I recently.
Congratulations.
How long do we wait?
Why did you have to add a business plan?
Did they ask for it?
Dollars to donuts. They did not ask for that. Prove me wrong, Argo. Tell me that the SBA loan officer asked for a business plan.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question. I just got approved by because they're large amount of self-employed. Can I? No. Oh, wait, PPP forgiveness?
Well, hold on. Zafu, the two have nothing to do with each other. Your EIDL has absolutely nothing to do with your PPP, and vice versa. You can apply for your PPP forgiveness right now. I would recommend going to SBA.gov. You may have already received an email from the SBA saying, hey, you can file your forgiveness application, because the SBA went live with the forgiveness application on their SBA website a few months ago. And so you may be able to find that, although there are a lot of banks that are not participating in the SBA portal, which means you'd have to go through your bank. But by all means, apply for your forgiveness. Rock and roll.
Absolutely.
And by the way, so Zafu, since you are self-employed, you're self-employed. Zafu, please listen very carefully to what I'm going to tell you. Write it down. Are you listening carefully?
I'm listening. I'm
Zafu,
enthralled.
you're self-employed. Therefore, every single penny of PPP money that you received is payroll.
Forgivable.
Do not put on your forgiveness application that you spent it on rent, utilities, insurance, or other normal business operating expenses. You know why? You are self-employed. Self-employed, your Paycheck Protection Program loan is considered total 100% payroll. So when you apply for your forgiveness, Sefu, put use of money, 100% payroll. Boom. Okay.
All right.
Next question.
Let us know, Zafu, if that was helpful.
All right, William Wallace. All right, Jadu.
All right. So by the way, Zafu, I'm definitely putting the link to the Google review. Oops, that's you. I'm gonna get it so you.
So Argo, you said yes. Does that mean yes that the loan officer asked for the business plan? I haven't seen that ever. Did they also ask you for an SBA form 1368?
Yeah.
That sounds, by the way, Argo, like you might be in appeal status, not reconsideration. I just find it hard to believe they asked for a business plan.
Oh, well, I mean, this is...
They'll respond, Mahesh. I'm sorry. Listen, folks, just try to understand our passion sometimes comes off, especially me, because I'm Scottish. I come off as arrogant and nasty and mean. I'm not. You folks have never seen me mean. I'm mean, and I can be mean if necessary.
Yeah.
I grew up in New York City. You learn how to be mean to protect yourself. I'm not mean. So please, Mahesh, take this in the spirit in which it's intended. When people ask us questions, when can I expect the SBA to respond? We tell you, stop asking that question.
Yeah.
Literally, look yourself in the mirror and tomorrow morning, when you get up and do your morning affirmations and your meditation, I am worthy. I'm approving of myself. I will earn a lot of money today. I will not ask the SBA when I will get an approval. See how that fits right in there with your meditation.
Yeah. We had a client. So there was a client who emailed me. He sometimes pops on here. I won't mention or acknowledge if he's here, but he sent an email this morning and he was like, I missed this email that you wrote. He goes, is there something I should do? I said, I don't know, because it's 3 weeks ago. I have to now go back and recapitulate, what's transpired thus far. And then sure enough, like within the hour, he got an email from the SBA saying, okay, we need these documents. I'm like, see how that works?
You just gotta wait. All right, Tom Jones. What's Tom Jones' 76 question?
Tom Jones. First, I have to put
Thanks, Antoine. Antoine, I'm wearing pop socks right now.
Pop socks, but
we're kind of closer tonight. We moved the camera in closer because Linda.
Because we want to be close with you.
That's my girl. Tom Jones, 76. Thanks for being here, folks. Just want to remind you, thank you for tuning in. And we are Aurora Consulting, and we do this every day. Process EIDL applications and reconsiderations and appeals. We have over 350 clients currently. We've worked on hundreds of situations since March of 2020. That's what gives us a bit of authority to give you. We haven't worked on just one loan or just pretend that we know people at the SBA. We don't know anybody at the SBA. Nobody does. We work on real loans, so we give you advice on that. All we ask you, Tom, and other folks like you, Argo, if you found the advice that we're giving you tonight is helpful at all, write a Google review. That's the tiny payment we ask you for the free advice we're giving you in the time we're spending. Linda will put the link up and you can just click on there and write a review. And if you're someone like Jenny Combs, who took our advice and got her 6-month-long reconsideration approved.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tom, about to submit for my 500,000 increase to 1.7 million. Is there any document I can review to see what their underwriting calculus, what I can repay? I had a few unprofitable years off and on. Okay. Well, first of all, Tom, we don't know that they're doing this cash flow analysis. We have heard that some people have been declined for borrower inability to pay.
Yes, when that happened? When that started happening? That started happening when the $2 million increase
on October
was
8th.
Approved. Not approved.
When it opened up on October 8th.
When they were made it.
There was a whole glitch thing that happened the first week. Wait, can you put the question back up?
I know, but I was trying to talk and I saw that my face was like down here.
Well, then sit up. Sit up higher. Okay.
My knees are killing me and my foot's falling asleep.
So Tom, unfortunately, I can't answer the question. And being a former mortgage banker, believe me, I would love to give you the simple math, debt to income ratio, 3843 or 4351. I would love to give you that, but we don't know what it is. I would say to you, listen, Trevor's golden rule is
always apply.
Tom, fly it in there. Send your increase request in there. You're going to need to prepare a PO22, a collateral real estate owned spreadsheet. Make sure you convert it to a PDF because the SBA website won't accept a spreadsheet, even though they give you a spreadsheet, but you got to convert it to a PDF, more SBA dysfunction, and possibly a personal financial statement. And they're approving them pretty quickly. We got one approved last week. We put the paperwork in on a Sunday, and he was approved. When was he approved? We were Monday afternoon. We had dinner. We were sitting at dinner.
And I wasn't listening to. I was responding to Antoine because Antoine, we have our socks from the birthday party.
Okay,
No one
can
else
we
knows.
stay on Tom Jones?
Yes.
We had our first $2 million approval last week.
Yes, yes.
So it was Sunday. I put the paperwork in. What day?
Speak and see.
Okay, hello. What day? Just focus here, girlfriend. What day did he get approved? Was it Monday or Tuesday? We were sitting at John's
It was
Cafe.
last week.
Okay, I know it was last week.
Oh.
But was it Monday or Tuesday that he was approved when we were at
I don't remember, honey.
John's Cafe?
I don't remember. I just can't believe.
What the hell do I pay you for?
You don't. I just
Actually,
can't believe
I don't. She
Speak and
pays
See
me.
is here. Everybody, Speak and See is like famous. If you have a grant question, this is the guy who knows how to answer it because we don't. Thank you so much. It's so
Thanks,
nice
Speak
to
and
see
See.
you here.
Okay.
Okay.
So Tom, let's go back to Tom Jones, and then we've got Mike Murphy and Air Transport to answer. But
Yeah.
can we go back to Tom Jones?
Tom Jones. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So Tom, again, Trevor's golden rule is always apply. Send in your reconsideration for the loan amount higher than $500,000. You're going to need a PO22. When you fill out your PO22, don't put in any loan amount in the box there other than $2 million. All of you, when you fill out PO22, I don't care if you're eligible for $80,000 or $1.9 million. Put $2 million in the PO22 box, the dollar value. Next, download the PFS and the schedule of real estate. Prepare those. You'll need an updated 2202 schedule of liabilities. As we said earlier, when some young gal asked about the 2202, my answer is always have a current 2202. If it's more than 30 days old, you shouldn't submit it. It should be current because the SBA wants to know what your current liabilities are. Only in the name of the business entity. Do not fill out a 2202 if you're a personal sole proprietor. All right. So what other questions have we got? Argro.
Oh, yeah. So the grant is different from the loan.
We're not talking about grants.
So, but it's
at all. We never
completely
talk
different.
about it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The loan is its own beast of a process.
Okay. I'm still, I will tell you honestly, I've worked on hundreds of files since March of 2020. I've never had a loan officer ask for a business plan. I'm not really clear. You need an SBA form 1368. That's what you really should need in terms of cash flow analysis. All right.
Air Transport was
and wasn't there MO or something? Okay. Air Trans denied for lack of transcript.
okay.
No, Air, I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do at all.
Oh,
there's nothing.
No.
We're sorry to tell you that.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's devastating. That's devastating.
All we can say is, hang in there. You will get approved. The one thing we know is if you are patient with the process and persistent and you submit the documents that are accurate, and when I say accurate, my phrase is more perfect than perfect. And you submit accurate documents, you will ultimately be approved. Hang in there. We hope that you're not closing your doors. This is
not the first time or the second time.
Don't call your congressperson. Don't call your senator. Don't call your SBA regional office. Complete waste of time.
Yeah.
All you can do is wait. Literally. It's all you can do. So we had some other questions if you want to scroll back up.
Yeah.
Wait, Jenny Combs, what were your reps' exact words? I want to know what those exact words were. Jenny.
Yeah.
Come back with that. I want to know what was your reps' exact words while we answer some of the questions. Can you scroll back up, my honey love?
Yes.
Oops, I just called you my honey love on TV.
It's okay. I'm not seeing where.
He was pretty far back.
Mike, you're here. Yes, Murphy's Law. And I'm sorry, it's the Mike Murphy Law. That was awesome today, though. So, I know, right? Isn't that cool? So nice to see speaking.
Can we get some questions up?
No, we don't have any questions.
No, there was that. Listen, if you're going to make.
No, do not touch.
Oh, wait, I can do it myself right here on the iPad.
Damn it.
How about them apples? I forgot about that. There's Air Transport, Argo.
This is Tom Jones. If we're going back, form 413. What's?
Oh, maybe I.
Oh, see, thank you, Michael. I know, right? So goofy.
I guess we did answer the question. Okay, I apologize.
I told you. Thank you, Argo. All right, so let's not have some dead air here. Yeah, April, Fred, I know. Can I share that if you've been waiting since April?
Jenny Combs, they do not send an email when the funds are sent.
Okay.
Your bank, it goes in your bank,
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. One of the things I do want to share.
Thanks, Argo. Write a review.
Yes.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Yes. So one of the things, Fred, that I would say, and do not interrupt me, we have a video on how to send a reconsideration request. I'm going to just tell you this since you've been waiting since April and it's been 6 months. I highly recommend that you send
a new
email requesting
what we call a
reconsideration.
jumpstart email.
Because as if you didn't do it already, or that you, even though you did it, it doesn't matter. It's not like a duplicate application.
We have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of older reconsiderations have just disappeared from the SBA system, or they're so buried. Now, by the way, hold on.
Now I also
Tom Jones here. Okay.
Let me finish, because I want to clarify with you guys, because we just said stop emailing and stop calling. But if you've been waiting for 6 months, and if you
haven't heard anything,
if you have not heard anything,
like if you've gotten emails asking for documents, that's one thing. But if you haven't heard anything, I would say
Tom Jones. Hey, thank you.
Tom Jones. I want to answer this question. So Form 413, I forget if that's the Form 413 is the PFS or if it's the RO. Either way, fill it out. Get it ready. And when you sign it, Tom, either print it out on an old-fashioned printer and sign it with a pen, scan it with a proper scanner and back in, or sign it with DocuSign. There's a defect on that form. Let me tell you all right now. That form, the personal financial statement that the SBA gives you for loans over $500,000, it's a fillable PDF. And what I've seen our clients do when I ask them to fill it out is they're electronically signing it, but it's an unacceptable electronic signature because it's not secure and it's not locked. So do not sign it that way. If you're going to sign any documents electronically, use DocuSign or use Adobe Acrobat's secure signature feature. Do not use that fake signature thing, with it that just you type in your name and it puts in a little sweet swirly signature thing.
Listen,
blah, 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 blah.
I want to answer this for Mikia, because I think this is not the first time.
Well, I don't want to answer Mikia yet. I have an answer for you, Mikia, and we're going to get to that because that's our next section of our show, which is the logic of if they're going to run out of money. All right, so we jump into that? Let's do it. Okay. First of all, today's show is about that's not true, Fred. Unfortunately,
I think he's tongue in cheek. Okay,
Fred, I will tell you, having spoken to hundreds of SBA agents and thanking them for their service and their diligence, they are really earnest in wanting to see all of you get the money. They truly are. Except
for when
there's no except. No. Everybody I've spoken to.
We just had a post that shows the rep saying, stop calling me.
Stop calling. That doesn't mean that rep doesn't. That rep probably gave that person her direct phone line.
Yeah, but
she wants her to get the money.
But this is the thing. This is the thing with, again.
And that's a customer service rep. That's not a loan officer.
I know, but I'm going to be the business owner to share with the frustration of the audience. That's like, we don't even know what's going on. So of course I want to call and find out what's going on, except it's just tickle them because they can't answer your questions, which is why.
Now stop calling, because all it does is making your file thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. And when a loan officer finally is working on your file, they won't be able to find the relevant information they need, like your tax return.
Yeah.
And the proper 4506D that you filled out. Okay. So let's talk about the topic of tonight's show. Is the program running out of money?
Okay.
Is it running out of money? We've tried to kind of set up a little logic chain for you on how things work at SBA and a little bit of credibility chain for ourselves and the predictions that I have made about various aspects.
All right, just get to the point.
Wow.
Seriously,
Really?
people are waiting. It's been an hour.
No, I'm not done. You're all going to stay tuned for this. Okay, so first of all, let's make this crystal clear. The COVID-19 EIDL program is not the PPP. It is not the Restaurant Relief Fund. It is not the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. This is not the $10,000 CARES Act grant. It is not the $10,000 targeted advance. Those were all special programs created by Congress under the CARES Act in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic downturn. There was a quick cash infusion into the economy, and it worked. The EIDL program is completely different. It's a loan, and it's a loan designed to make up for lost revenue due to a natural disaster. It has been around since 1953. Please follow my logic here, okay? I say please follow my logic because a quick side note is nobody knows and nobody can say what is going to happen on December 31st. So please stop listening to all those people who are trying to scare the shit out of you and get your clickbait clicks, because that's all those people are doing. They're trying to scare you into clicking onto their videos. We have seen them do this now for almost 2 years. Every time something looks hairy and crazy at the SBA or the government, like the second stimulus, do you remember what we went through autumn of last year?
Oh, I know.
Autumn of 2020.
Listen, the extent of our clickbait is the thumbnail for this video I wrote is the EIDL money running out. Only
that's about as clickbait as we get.
Yeah, because that's what
we're here to
asking.
tell you the truth based on real financial services experience, both in our professional lives and in this process. We're not trying to scare you. And every time, so the second stimulus last year was you don't know how many emails and phone calls we would get, or the comments we would get emails from people saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, just why don't we wait till Congress actually passes the stimulus? And by the way, and I was right. We waited and it was better than everybody thought. So we don't know what's going to happen on December 31st. Nobody does. But here's what I know. Logically, the EIDL program is a loan to make up for lost revenue. It's been around since 1953, which means it is a part of normal congressional budgetary appropriations. It's not a special program. So therefore, it is completely logical that it will be funded into the next year. There, I said it. Okay?
What? Because hold on a second. You actually said a few weeks ago, while we were probably having pancakes and chips.
By the way, I had pancakes again this morning.
You said, you know what? I actually don't know if they're going to extend it. But I mean, did we answer the question that this is for people who haven't applied before? This is for new applications. If you already have a loan and you're looking to increase your loan, let me just ease your fear. Read your loan agreement. In the loan agreement, it says you have up to 24.
My girl.
You have
listen.
Well, they can't if you keep interrupting me.
Sorry.
You have up to 24 months to request an increase in your current existing EIDL
It's
loan.
in writing in the loan agreement.
It's okay. So if you have a loan and you have a loan agreement, stop it. Stop worrying about the December 31st. You're not having to worry about that. You are out of that. You've already submitted.
And by the way, where do you think they're going to get their money from? They're going to get it from a congressional budgetary appropriation. Ashton Bourne, you're misreading what the headlines are saying in the media, Ashton. I'm sorry. I love you, man, but you're misreading it.
Yeah. Look at
what. Thank you, Speak and See. What you're misreading, Ashton, is the media is reporting the regulation. Officially, the program ends on December 31st. And as Linda said, it ends for new applications.
If you've never applied.
What's going to happen with reconsiderations and appeals and process? We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Because they don't have.
And by the way, the SBA doesn't really share this stuff. They don't. They're notoriously horrible. We had our friend Natalie Walters from the Dallas Morning News who was interviewing us periodically.
Which Speak and See knows her because Robert Dunham was kind enough to make that introduction.
So she reached out to the SBA for commentary on some information, and they stopped responding to her because she wasn't writing very favorable articles about them. She gave them their best shot, but their public relations team is horrific. This is an agency with the worst communications protocols I have ever seen. I've dealt with federal government loans for 30 years in my mortgage career. I did FHA, I did VA, I did USDA loans, and I never have seen an agency that behaves this way.
So actually, I want to address Luis. Sends an email with Luis.
Oh, Luis, I love you for this question. Thank you. By the way, Luis has been a patient and wonderful client of ours for quite a few months. We just had a wackadoodle response from SBA. But Luis brings up a really excellent point. And we see this with many of our clients who are saying, you know, they get an email from SBA. Now, in Luis's case, his loan officer said he has until the 22nd to send the documents in, right? I don't believe in their deadlines at all.
Yeah.
We have worked on hundreds of files, and we have looked at, and when I say we, I personally process every single one of our clients' files. We have a team that supports us, but all they do is filing work. They organize PDFs in your folders. They label them for me. They put things in a way that I can find things very quickly and very easily. They do not process the files. I personally process every single one of our over 350 client files. And what I have seen time and time again, because I have done this, Luis, what you're asking. In fact, I did it today. I had two clients today. We actually talked about
it last week.
I had two clients today who got requests. Ashton Bourne, you were one of them. Mm-hmm. We got a request for a 4506T. It was easy for me to jump into the client's file. In the case of one client, I had a 4506T that we had them DocuSign in August. I just sent that in. I'm not kidding. 3 minutes after I got the email, I sent it in. In Ashton's case, yours was a little older, so I sent you an updated one for a signature valid today, because the one you had on file, I think, was 3 months old, 4 months old. It was June. So I sent you one today, and as soon as I got that back, Ashton, how quick did you send it in? You sent it in, I don't know, 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
Time and again, I have seen that we send these documents in and we jump on it, send it in. Oh my God, this is great. I'm excited. I'm so excited. The SBA is looking at my file. I'm going to get my money. And I send it in. Crickets.
Yeah.
No response. Or they come back 6 weeks later and they ask for exactly the same document.
Right.
So, Luis, thank you for answering that question.
Thank you, Julius. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Okay. So the guy who does our trees here on our property here in Connecticut is texting with Linda right now. We helped him get some EIDL money last year. Linda wrote, "I can't talk right now. I'm on YouTube. Ha ha ha." And he wrote back, "Thumbs up, make me famous." So this is me making Alex famous. See? Make me famous. Okay, Alex, you're famous.
Actually, his insurance renewal is.
By the way, Alex, just so you know, now that we've made you famous, I'm hoping you're going to take down those dead trees up on the property now for free because we made you famous. Speaking of famous, Linda Ray, did we tell everybody that I'm famous now? Did somebody recognize me?
That was last week.
I feel like we should talk about it again.
No, we're not.
I was sitting in a restaurant last week, and some woman walking past me said, "Oh, I know you. You're that consulting guy who does all those funny videos on Facebook."
Pretty funny. All right. So we just answered this, John Peters, but I know you and
the answer is we don't know.
We had a comment exchange today. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that your concerns, we've not really been helpful because you've asked about the grant. And now this question, which remains unknown as far as how the SBA is going to address this. I suspect as we get closer to December 31st, we'll probably see some activity because they're going to have to address it with how many millions of files are still outstanding. Willie, I see you, Willie, and you need to replay this from the beginning where we say, no matter how often you email us, we cannot do anything until they get in touch with us. That's all there is to it, unfortunately. Oh, and yes, for the RRF, that is the example of money running out.
Well, so Mika, this is a good point because the EIDL COVID-19 EIDL program is not a special grant program that was created by the CARES Act by Congress. The Restaurant Relief Fund was, and Congress sadly did not anticipate and did not fund. You know, the SBA got over $76 billion in requests, of which yours was one of them. We had many clients also, Mikia, that we did their RF applications. They did not get funded.
All right. Let's see. What do we got? Taylor Drake.
Taylor Drake. Oh my God, Taylor. Taylor, you need to call me right after the show, please. Taylor, you have our number, please. I need to speak to you on the phone right after the show. And congratulations. Hold on, I forgot to do the thing. I got the dud. Why'd you give me a dud?
Because I'm the star of this show.
Taylor, please call me. You have our office line. Linda will actually answer that. Patience, patience, patience. That is what helped me with the PPP. And you are correct, John. By the way, Tom Jones. Okay. You have gift cards.
Which don't get called in faster.
No, do not. You don't have to report those because those are not.
That's
John,
overhead.
Tom Jones, I would ask your CPA about that because that's more of an accounting question. Depends on how your CPA treats those on your balance sheet. If those are considered accounts payable.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it sounds like they could be accounts payable. It also depends on how either your bookkeeper or your CPA ledgers.
Yeah.
The type of ledgering they use.
That's interesting.
So can't answer that, but I think, in my opinion, would be no. But I'm not a CPA.
I think so too. But because it's not debt, it's an expense. It's a operating.
Hey, David DeJong, CPA.
David DeJong.
David DeJong.
Oh,
CPA.
And Izal, nice to see you here, and thank you for the kind review. Have you guys run into anybody who's
non-filers too?
Oh, okay. So he submitted a survey and
Okay, Izal. So you filed an amended return. When did he file his amended return?
I don't know. I don't remember.
All right. So the general rule on amended returns is this: if you filed an amended return, the IRS on their website says it's going to take a minimum of 4 months before they even look at it. So do the math. Depending on when you filed your amended return, you know, the earliest the transcript is going to show up is going to be 4 months later. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry if that wasn't helpful enough.
No, this is.
And just a reminder, folks, if you find our information helpful, all we ask is a very tiny little payment for tonight's advice and our show is please write a review. Write a Google review. You can find the link right here down below.
I know who this is, and I just sent you an email, and they're not organized. You'd have to replay, go back to the beginning.
Mango Elvis, the bottom line is stop questioning, start submitting. That is my motto. If the SBA,
but you don't have to worry about that now. We've got you covered.
If the SBA asks me for a 4506T 18 times, I send it in 19 times. It's fine.
Okay, so here we go. They asked for a voided check.
Yes, it's normal.
Totally normal.
Do not call.
Yeah,
please,
don't call. Stop
Summer
calling.
Luck, watch the replay of the show. We start out by the show by saying in our script, stop calling. Stop calling the SBA. Stop submitting unnecessary documents. Stop sending long-winded storytelling emails. All you're doing is making your file thicker and thicker and thicker. And when there's a thick file in the system, the SBA person working on your file to approve it, who has limited time because their boss is breathing down their neck, cannot find the important paper because they're looking at the 15,000 calls you made. Don't call.
So this
October 4th, Izal, sorry. It's going to be 4 months before the IRS has a transcript available for you.
I mean, it could be, who knows? I mean, it could be soon. They say 4 months just to prepare you, but it could happen sooner. It could, I mean, we have seen when the return was filed, then we saw the transcript like 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, but there's no norms anymore, unfortunately.
Taylor, I'll answer those questions for you when you call, but that's not why I want you to call. We think you, okay.
Okay.
There you go. Taylor Drake proves exactly what we just said. She filed the amended return in April, and she was approved today.
Yeah.
And she filed her reconsideration. Taylor did a free we used to do free 15-minute phone consultations, which is how many of you found us and hired us. And Taylor did one of those phone calls with us way back in January or February. What's Will O's question?
I called them and told me, they told me docs had to upload, weren't there, right? What the heck okay. They can't find them. They can't find them.
Yeah, Will, that's why we tell people stop calling.
Stop calling, stop questioning, and start submitting when you get an email.
I submit hundreds of documents a week. I never call the SBA to ask if I stopped calling the SBA asking this question back in March.
Of last year.
No, this year.
Of this year?
It started in March last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but you stopped calling like right. So is this, Jenny, is this comment from when Trevor said, is this what the politicians told you? That they're going to recommend your file for approval. So that's all they're doing is saying that. Okay. So yeah, Taylor called Congress. I'm not going to say that is
we're not going to give that any credibility, Taylor, to say that assisted your approval. We think it's just coincidental. We have not seen any situations where a politician was able to move someone's file along.
Thank you, John Peters. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John Peters.
All right. I don't think there's any questions.
All right. So we go to the part of the show where Linda starts singing and I dance.
No, there's definitely none of that. But
why not? We can't sing and dance.
I'm gonna take a few minutes. Wow. Okay. So we're at an hour and 15 minutes, and
no singing and dancing tonight, folks. Apparently,
I will say
we got props though.
While we wait for questions,
she's punching me under the table.
I'm not punching you, but while we're waiting, if there's any questions as we wind down the show, I do want to remind you guys. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Please go to our Simple Sense for Small Business channel. It's youtube.com/Aurora Consulting. Because when EIDL is over and everybody's funded, because we dream about that happening.
That means essentially
our job is
out
over.
Of business.
We're out of business.
We will be out. And unlike y'all folks who might have time to try to figure out what you're going to, Trevor, blink twice if you need help. Wait, you've been watching that State Farm commercial with Jake? Blink twice.
Yeah, there you go.
That chick is hysterical in that commercial.
Yeah, we don't have time to.
We don't have time to think what we're doing next because we know our business is going to end, but we're so busy running it and helping folks like Ashton and
here's Erica Brown
and other folks. I can't answer that question on the show, Erica. I'd have to look at your file. We're so busy, we don't have time to think what's the next thing we're doing. But we did hit on this idea of giving simple sense for small business, which is mistakes that we've made that you don't have to, and some good common sense stuff.
Yeah.
John Peters, do not call Congress.
Yeah. So if I don't get...
Listen, folks, if you want to call your politicians, we've said this for the better part of 10 months. Sure thing. Call your politicians. Here's what you tell them. Give the SBA more money in their normal budget.
Yeah.
So they can hire more people. Because you know what? Natural disasters are happening more frequently. And this is a valuable program. But as has been demonstrated literally for 2 decades, the SBA is woefully unprepared to manage the EIDL program for even a tornado or a wildfire. So please, if you're going to reach out to your politicians, ask them when they put together a budget for the United States government to fund the SBA's budget, to fund more money into the SBA's budget. The SBA's budget in 19 or 18 was like $859 million, which is an F-22 jet fighter costs about $120 million. So for roughly the cost of what, 7 or 8 jet fighters, that's the budget of the SBA. They need more money. All these problems that you all are having is because the SBA for decades has been abused by Congress by not being properly funded by Congress.
And by the way, I want to just say this to Mango Elvis. You missed the section that we just talked about, where if you've already gotten an EIDL loan, you're exempt from the December 31st because you have up to 24 months to file for increase. It's in your loan agreement. So I hope that this is the second time I'm mentioning that could make more people sleep at night just from the relief of that as a fact.
I want to answer David Young's question because David and I worked on this, and we know that the loan officer ordered the transcripts on September 23rd. Keep in mind, David, even though transcript turnaround time right now at the IRS is around 5 to 8 days. So even if they got the transcripts on my birthday, which was October 1st, it still has to be processed in their system. So you have to give it appropriate time for that.
All right. If there
And John Peters, when you say squeaky wheel, I am a massive advocate for the squeaky wheel gets the grease, except when it comes to the SBA. Folks, the squeaky wheel
there's a book
is not going to work at the SBA.
Who's that author of Squeaky Wheel?
It's not going to work. That's
what's his name?
It's
such a great book.
The Psychologist from Manhattan.
Psychologist, such a great book. You know what? In theory, it seems like that would be, but they start yesing you to death, and they start telling you they're going to do something, and then now you have to wait on two different types of people who are supposed to get back to you and aren't, because they don't have the answers. They don't know. Guy Winch. Yeah. So
businesses, corporations, and even government take them seriously indeed. Over the past 3 decades alone, customer service departments have gone from being corporate dumping grounds for failing and marginal employees to technologically advanced.
Okay, turn it off.
That's Guy Winch, and he wrote a fantastic book, The Squeaky Wheel Theory, and it's highly recommend listening to on Audible or reading it.
For the 250 cap? There's
highly
a 250
recommend
cap?
it. What? I don't know what the 250 cap is.
You mean the 500 cap?
Yeah.
So somebody else asked that about, and somebody else asked the question about, and actually this, I'm going to throw this back at you.
Oh, I thought you were going to throw me under the bus.
That I do that on a regular basis,
It's
but
truth. Totally truth.
If so, with loans that have been in process for when it was 500,000, but they are eligible for more, people are asking like, what's like,
we don't know.
Yeah, because see, it's
again, it's like asking when something's going to be approved.
Logically, we think that we should just apply for more money because because they increased it, but that's not how it works. We have to actually wait because they're so dysfunctional.
Ashton corrected it.
They're so dysfunctional. We just have to wait, and we are kind of thinking that they're either going to stick to underwriting the loan as if there's still a 500 cap, or they're going to make it eligible for more if you're eligible for more. But that didn't even happen with one of our clients. He's supposed to get 1.7 and he got 685, and he's already gotten
that
500.
happened today, and that was a mistake.
But you have to kind of wait to see what they're going to make eligible for
Summer
your
Luck,
file.
thank you. Write a review for us on our Google page, Summer Luck, please.
Willie, I've already answered this. I already answered this. We don't know. You would know first. All right, let's wrap it up. And let's see.
I'm going to let Linda answer this one.
First EIDL modification, they denied for insufficient info. Sent another request for reconsideration and still waiting. Should we continue to wait? You have to wait, and you submit when they request. And if they ask you for forms you think they already have,
send them in again.
Send them in again.
And when you send them, make sure they are more perfect than perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the same department.
Yeah.
Although the appeals team allegedly has more experienced loan officers on it, people with real underwriting experience at SBA. Remains to be seen.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. Oh, let me take down this banner. Okay. We just want to say thank you. Oh, let me take down this banner.
All the banners are coming down.
Oh, you know what? Here, this is the final banner. You're welcome. There you go. So with that,
that's our
we bid you
logical prediction.
Yes. We bid you a farewell. We wish you safety.
Thanks for tuning
health,
in, folks.
Patience. Take deep breaths. Stop calling the SBA. Submit when they ask for documents, even if you think they already have them. And we wish you all the best, and we will see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye for now.